you. My name is Sean Hubbard, and I am here today because I am running for U.S. Senate.
Yay.
We all know that lawyers, lobbyists, and millionaires are not underrepresented or marginalized in Washington. As a matter of fact, they spend a great deal of time and money ensuring that the rest of us are underrepresented and marginalized. We started this campaign to prove that regular folks still mattered, that the rest of us still had a voice, that this was still our democracy. Now, I know I'm not your most likely candidate. I'm probably not what you would expect to see walk up here. You may have noticed that I'm young. I'm 31 years old. But I say that Washington has a lot of age and experience, and it doesn't seem to be working too well for us right now. I don't come from a politically connected or wealthy family. I'm the great-grandson of a carpenter and a letter carrier, the grandson of a carpet salesman, small business owner, and public school teacher. Until recently, my father owned a small hardware store. He had to shut it down because the economy got bad. My wife is not your typical candidate spouse. She doesn't come from a politically connected or wealthy family either. She was born in a concentration camp outside of Battambang, Cambodia, during one of the worst genocides that this world has ever witnessed. Her father had to risk his life to smuggle food to his family. Risk his life again to get his family to refugee camps in Thailand and the Philippines, eventually getting to America, where he found work as a carpet weaver. So we haven't been groomed for this. We haven't spent years preparing for this. We simply looked around and said, there is something wrong going on in America right now. Over the last several decades, we have seen Wall Street and the top 1% prosper, while Main Street and the rest of us have struggled. We have seen the worst economic crisis in many of our lifetimes, and Wall Street has continued to prosper while the rest of us have suffered the consequences. We have heard Ronald Reagan convince our nation that government is bad, government is the problem, and that anyone who thinks government can do something for you is un-American. Well, what I say to that is, what purpose does our government serve if not for the betterment of our society? What good are we if we cannot lift up those who are poor and treat those who are sick? Our founding fathers, when they signed the Constitution, they were saying, we are in this together. We have gone from a society that values community to a society that values wealth. And that's been great for Wall Street, but it hasn't been so good for the rest of us. We have gone from pools of liberty and waters of justice to trickle-down economics. And we know what they mean when they say trickle down. Let the rich drink as much as they like, and maybe, when they're drunk, they might overfill their glass, and a little will trickle down to the rest of us. The problem with that is that when you have too much to drink, and you drive, much like they have driven our economy, you crash into the rest of us. What we have to do is get back to that spirit of community. That idea that America prospers when our fellow Americans can prosper. The idea that our nation is always stronger when those willing to work hard can succeed. I want to get us back to that America. Come November, you will obviously have a choice. You can choose David Dewhurst and his buddies, who have put Texas last in education, last in healthcare, last in environment, and let them go to Washington and put America last. Or you can decide, thank God for Mississippi, or thank God for Somalia is not a governing strategy, and you can choose the Democrat that will put Texas first and put America first. But before we get there, you have a choice in this Democratic primary. You can choose to do it the way we've done it for the last several decades. Choose to take the candidate that Austin gives you, watch him run the same stale campaign, and get 42% of the vote come November. Or you can choose a new type of candidate, a fresh type of campaign, a candidate that won't run away from democratic values because he is proud of them. But to do that, it's going to take a little courage. The courage to stand up to Wall Street and say, no, you won't do us this way. The courage to stand up to the Koch brothers and say, no, our democracy is not for sale. And the courage to stand up and break the corrupting alliance of politics, money, and media. That's what I ask of you, to show a little courage, because it's going to take courage to take on right-wing Republican extremism, It's going to take courage to stand up to the special interests like the NRA. And that's the kind of courage that doesn't wait until the front runner gets out of a race to get into it. So, that is what I ask of you today. To try something new and show a little courage. If you are willing to do that, come November, Barack Obama will win, we will win, and to quote Harry Truman, we will make Republicans like it. I ask for your time, I ask for your commitment, I ask for your contributions, I ask for your vote. My name is Sean Hubbard and I am running for U.S. Senate. Thank you very much.